Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello everybody, my name is Abby. If you don't already know me, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're wondering why I looked like a glazed honey bun right now, it's because I just did my skincare. Side note, in my previous video that I posted about getting my life together, that first clip was maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, and then the rest of the video was filmed like a month or two ago. My skin has improved so much. And yes, I do have like the soft skin filter on here, but like even with the soft skin filter, you can tell when people have blemishes because it's either like darker or anything like that. If you compare my skin to the second end of that video to the first clip of that video, my skin has improved so much. And shout out to this summer, because when I tell you, when you're not stressed and everything, and you're pouring back into yourself, you're going to the gym, taking care of yourself, all this woo, your skin literally gets better. When they say stress is literally like the number, it just like takes everything out of you. It really does. And my skin looks so nice. I don't think my skin has ever, even like middle school, high school, all this type of stuff, my skin was going through it. And I tried several different things. But when I tell you, like, what I do now, or what I started doing this summer for my skin, it has improved 10 times. And I have had troubles with my skin for years. So, yeah. But yes, welcome back to Vana Ebonics. I actually really like that I came up with that name, and hopefully nobody else has it, but if they do, please don't steal it from me. But yeah, I saw, the reason I wanted to make a video today was because on Instagram, maybe a couple of days ago, one of my mutuals on Instagram posted a note on his he posted a note, and the question was, why do women overthink? And I will read y'all what I responded to him. So I posted, women overthink because people tend to underthink. And he was just like, what do you mean by that? And so I said, I think women overthink when people don't give them enough information. Like in terms of men and women, I think men tend to be satisfied with less information, so that's what they give out, which could be a reason certain women overthink because something is lacking to them. Then he replied, I think that's a good answer. I think men do better with little information because they do more with it. They tend to be more logical and less empathetic, which makes them less prone to overthinking. I then replied, I agree. I think it's just women are more emotional, but also have the ability to go a little further than usual when they have all the details. So the overthinking is like us compensating for what we don't know, despite what we can still just do with what we have. And then he asks a very, very important question. I like that. So what would cause you to be less analytically emotional and more logical as a woman? And then I said, honestly, I think it's an individual thing. Whether it's like, as the woman, can I adapt and learn to operate that way versus someone like me who tends to be independent in terms of trying to figure something out first before asking for help? Just the simple words from someone else saying, I got it, or you don't need to worry about it, trust me, and following through with their actions. And he was just like, that's a very good answer. So I was thinking about that conversation because I went over to my friend's house yesterday and we were kind of talking about that same subject. So for today's topic for Bonnet Ebonics is, we overthink because we're underinformed. Let's get into it. So I went to my homeboy's house yesterday and I was chilling with because I'm in a co-ed fraternity. So I was chilling with my LB and my other homeboy. And we were talking about things we are excited for this next semester. And my LB, his name is Ethan, shout out to Ethan. We were telling each other, we listed 5 things we hope for the semester for ourselves. And then I suggested we list, because it's 3 of us, we say something we hope for the other person. So my LB Ethan would say one for my homeboy and me, homeboy being Zai, so because I'll say his name. My LB Ethan would say one for Zai and me. I would say one for Zai and Ethan, and Zai would say one for me and Ethan. So we were going around saying what we hope and everything like that, and it gets to Ethan, and Ethan's like, Abby, I hope that this semester you don't overwork yourself and overthink. And I was like, okay, elaborate. And to paraphrase what he said, he was just like, you tend to take on a lot of things simply because you feel like you have a certain standard to things, and if they're not up to standard, you feel like you'd rather do it yourself than to let someone else solve it. And you can't necessarily control everybody else and everything like that. Then my homeboy chimed in and he was just like, yeah, you have to understand, Abby, that you're a very type A person, which I recognize. I am very type A. I like things being done on time and all this other type of stuff. And he was just like, although it can get on other people's nerves, especially people who are type B, like, that's just the person you are. And that comes with you overthinking. And so when I got home that night, I was thinking about that. I was just like, why do I tend to be an overthinker? Not because I think other people can't do things that, like, it's not to say that I think people aren't capable of doing things when they need to be done. I think for me is that as I've grown up and everything like that, I get tired of waiting on people to do things correctly. I'm a very no nonsense type of person when it comes to like handling business, my academics, stuff like that. So when I see people like lollygag or just, don't do it as quickly as I would like, or I personally would do it, because I tend to not, if I ask something of somebody, I will usually give a deadline because this is when I would like it to be done. But once I give that deadline, I don't like repeating myself. So I won't come back and check on you. But if I see that the deadline is coming up and you still have done nothing about it, it will irritate me because I tend to give ample amount of time, and I also approach it in a way where it's like, I would like you to do this by this time. So if you could do that for me and you agreed to it, then that's what I'm expecting of you. I don't like to come back behind people and be like, okay, this needs to be done right now. I told you to do this, blah, 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 because my mom does that to me. And I think that's a very Caribbean thing. And I hate when people do that. But if the deadline passes and you're still not about it, or it's very, very close to the deadline, I'll be like, hey, it's mostly after the deadline passes. I'm just like, hey, were you able to get this done? If I hear that you didn't get it done, then that irritates me because I know I need ample time to do certain stuff, but although I know I can't do it quickly, I tend to give people ample time to do certain stuff. And if I've given you that timeline and you still have not completed it or not even started it or whatever the task may be, then I feel like that's very irritating to me. But that's just me as a type A type of person, and it's like in different areas of my life. And so, like my LB Ethan said, I do tend to, if that deadline passes, I just take it over. Because at that point, although I did ask you, I don't like asking for help in general. I'm the type of person I like to figure it out by myself first. So if I willingly come out and ask you to help me with something or to do something for me, then I'm expecting that is to be done, because I really could have done it by myself. But I know sometimes I need help. And so, in terms of the conversation, like, we overthink when we feel underinformed, I think for me, when I take over that task, or I'd be like, you know what, it's okay, I'll handle it, I think in my head, I start overthinking simply because I feel now that either I underinformed them or they feel underinformed by the information they got from me. But again, I don't like repeating myself. And so it gets to a point where it's just like, I start overthinking of every single thing I said. I was just like, did I not give them enough information? Did I not give them enough time? Like, why are they doing this? Is this really just how they act? Like, things like that. And I think especially as a woman, I need to I wouldn't say but I need to learn how to operate this is something I am working on as well. I feel like as a woman and the woman I am, I need to learn how to operate with the fact that not everybody has the same timeline, but also not everybody processes information at the same way. And that really also goes into like the whole like men versus women conversation kind of thing. Men obviously process things a different way. Men are tend to be more logical, and like my mutual on Instagram said, men tend to be able to go a longer to figure things out with less information. Women like to have the details and everything like that. Although I do firmly believe that women with or without details can go further depending on how they process their information and everything like that, with bare minimum information or like surface level answers and stuff like that, women tend to like crash out. I feel like that's just a thing. Um I personally have not met that much women who can like just go about their business or like do a task with like little to no information. Um but I do think it's a skill that a lot of women should be able to adapt to, not necessarily because of men, but simply because, like, if we're able to have all this information and all the details, everything just listed out for us, and we're able to go above and beyond because we then start thinking of more things that could be done with that full base of information, imagine what we could possibly do with little to nothing and that mindset still going. I feel like, I know me, I tend to overcompensate for what I don't know, simply because I don't want whatever task, or if somebody asks me to do something or I'm doing it for somebody, I don't want them to ever be like, oh, I have to come back and fix something. I don't like fixing stuff. Like, I don't like going back and fixing stuff that I've already done and I feel like it's up to standard. So that's why I feel like I try to ask a bunch of questions. Like, even in my photography and stuff like that, I'm always asking, like, are you okay during the photo shoot? Even in like my art, I'm always asking, like, hey, is this detail fine? Are you okay with this? I give them like rough drafts and stuff like that. Like, it's because I need everything to be okay so I don't have to go back and do it. I like to start from point A and maybe have to go to point AB, point AC, but either way my timeline is still chronological, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't like going back and forth. And I also feel like when it comes to like academics or even relationships, like, I really don't like going back and forth. I like to handle the situation at hand with the information at hand. And if I discover things afterwards, and that's when it comes down to like confrontation and stuff like that, about like, why didn't this happen? Why wasn't this said? All this type of stuff, because we could have handled this at point A. But I think as I mature and as I get older, I think I realize that not everybody is going to think the way I do as well. And I have to accept that, because when I'm, like I said in my previous video, I'm about to graduate college. When I'm just in the workforce, I have to understand that people are raised differently, people process information differently, and people go about the actions from that processed information way differently than what I would do. And if there is somebody that I meet that is completely like me, I cannot then start comparing them to everybody else simply because that's what I do. Somebody may be doing the same things to me and be like, dang, Abby does way too much, way too soon, or something like that, simply because it's different. And I think as the year goes on, as I, look for jobs, all that type of stuff, I think that is a skill that I need to, or I want to work on, simply because, like, thinking like future wise, like whenever I want to get a house or even start a family, get married, all that type of stuff, like, I have to understand that people are not going to be perfect. And it's interesting when now that I think about it, when people say, oh, you're perfect and everything like that, that just means you're perfect to them in their perspective. They may be a terrible person or nowhere near perfect in somebody else's eyes. And when, when you think about it, if everybody has a perfect version of something, right, then nothing is truly ever perfect. And I think I need to adopt that mindset that when I realize nobody really has a definition of perfect, because perfect is very, what's the word? Perfect can be so objective. There we go. Perfect can be objective or subjective to whoever is thinking about it. So I think as I continue to grow, all this other type of stuff, like I've literally been saying for the past 3 times, when I realize that nothing can be perfect, I need to learn to adapt. I need to learn to adjust. And although it may suck and I really, really don't want to do it, and sometimes I will have to repeat myself and everything, at the end of the day, that's just life. And I think if more people took on that mindset, then the whole conversation about like, are these two people equal? Should men do more than women more than men, independence 50-50, all that other type of stuff would go out the window, because then it's just a matter of, do you already feel grown or are you continuously growing? I once watched a podcast, Poor Minds, and Duran Bernard was on it, and he was like, he doesn't like when adults say, oh, I'm grown, and they're, especially in the Black community, he likes to say, oh, I'm growing, because when you say you're grown, that means you've reached your capacity for every single thing you've done. That means you have nowhere else to go. So what I see right now is your limit. And I agree with him. I want to continuously grow, even as I, go through life, go through work, hopefully have a family, kids. At the end of the day, I am continuously growing. And I think when people understand that life is quite literally a journey, and it's not like this is just how I am and somebody has to accept that, I feel like more people would understand to give others more grace, and also to look at things from other people's perspectives, or try to look at things from other people's perspectives. Because at the end of the day, like I said before, everybody's definition of perfect is objective or subjective to whoever's thinking it. Hopefully I said that word right in the right context. But yeah, I think that's all I got for that. It was a little bit of rambling, but hey. But yeah, so those were my thoughts on that. I really wanted to just like talk about it out loud, because I've been thinking about it for like the past 2-3 days. I was like, that's an interesting conversation to have. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Bonnet and Bonnets. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. School is starting soon. I'm kind of scared, but I'm kind of excited too, because I want to do a lot more like mini vlogs and stuff like that. So hopefully maybe one day I can get somebody else to do and talk about a topic with me on Bonnet and Bonnets, or like this type of thing with a bonnet on. But yeah, that's all I have. See y'all in my next video. Bye.